In this video we're going to be talking about a subject that's a little bit different to the norm. In 2023 I ran 2 marathons. One of them was in carbon plate shoe and the other one was in a non-carbon plate shoe. So in this video we're going to discuss what that was like, what difference there was, and do you actually need a carbon plated racing shoe for your marathon? What is up everybody and welcome to Fordy Runs. My name is Chris Ford, and when I am not talking about running shoes, I'm a running coach based here in the UK, but I thought this would be an awesome topic for our sort of viewer interaction videos. I want to know from you what you think about this. So in 2023 I ran the London Marathon. I ran 3:39, 3:40, something like that. And I was wearing, hold tight, I've got me in, not the exact shoe, but I was wearing the Adidas Adios Pro 3. And then later in the year I ran the Berlin Marathon. I actually ran them in the Skechers Go Ride 11. I also did another marathon, I did the New York City Marathon, but I wanted to focus on these 2 races. And in Berlin I ran 4:11. Doesn't really matter, I was having too much of a good time. But I wanted to start this debate, start this discussion, because I think I'm well placed now to discuss what it's like actually running a marathon in a non-carbon plated shoe. Now before you go absolutely nuts and say, oh, the Skechers has got a carbon infused H plate at the front of it, is a carbon, right, I'm just putting that to myself. I'm talking about, you know, energy rods and like mental technology and max stack and all this sort of stuff, compared to the basically the daily trainer that is the Go Ride 11, because that's a training plate in there. That's not really there for like ultimate propulsion. It's there to add a little bit of snap, but it's there also to add a little bit of stability. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, so like I said, I ran let's say 3:45 and say in the Adidas Pro 3, and what I find with the Pro 3 is that it really does help if you're going for it. Now I probably should have ran quicker in London. I got told off from my mates for not going fast enough, but what I found with this shoe is that it carried the marathon goal pace, that target pace, really well. I felt at 21, 22, 23 miles I could step on it and it gave me that feedback, it gave me that propulsion. That Light Strike Pro came alive, and the carbon infused rods or whatever we've got in here, the energy rods, works really well with the Light Strike Pro, and you could feel that propulsion as you're going through the distance. And it's particularly in the marathon, which is such an endurance based event, it's an absolute beast of a distance, because you can actually kind of go for it in the marathon. The shoe just comes alive because it just carries that speed and it gives you that feedback, and it's almost helping you across the line. And then you've got the polar opposite with the Go Ride 11, which is there for comfort. I mean, the Skechers shoes, the reason I love Skechers is because they're so damn comfortable. We've got Hyperburst in here, we've got Arch Fit in here, we've got Gudja rubber on the outsole. It's just a very comfortable shoe, and that's why I wore them for the Berlin Marathon. And this shoe was so comfortable as I cruised around in Berlin. It was really good, and we was running at 9:05 per mile, so we was on for sub 4 until we got to about 22, 23 miles, and then we backed out, mainly because 1, my back was hurting, and 2, Ben had Chicago in 2 weeks. But if we could have carried on and we'd have been sub 4. So the thing, the question that I want to ask is, do you actually need these? Because I think it really depends on what your goal is. So if you're looking just to do your first marathon, do you actually need a carbon plated shoe? Well, you probably don't. You could easily run a marathon in the 1080 version 13, or the Triumph 21, or the Nimbus 25, or the Go Ride 11, and they'll get you around just fine. You'll be comfortable, you'll cruise about, and it will just help you, you know. It will just make you feel a little bit less tired, maybe. I don't know. I think maybe the weights will come into play for sure. But ultimately, you're going to be comfortable and you're going to cruise around if you can cruise in the marathon. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting debate. Do you need these carbon plate shoes? Now, don't get me wrong, because, you know, marathons, I pretty much wear these all the time. So I know it's a bit, you know, pot kettle. And if you said to me, Fordy, you've got to go and run a marathon tomorrow, I'm going to pick a carbon plated shoe. No doubt about that. And if I'm going for a time, I'm going to wear a carbon plated shoe. But it does make me think, like, if I was going to go and run a marathon and I just wanted to cruise around, take it in, have some fun with my friends and things like that, yeah, again, it's a marathon. But I'd probably pick a non-plated shoe. So now I'm going to throw it over to you. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you need to run in a carbon plated shoe at the marathon distance? Let me know in the comments what you feel. Do you need to spend 200, 250 pounds on a carbon plated super shoe when you can, you know, pick up something like this for 160 pounds and it's going to get you around, or one of the other shoes I mentioned today? I think it's an interesting topic, and I don't know the right answer. Obviously, I've got my opinion, I've said it, but I want to know what yours are. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Do you think you need a carbon plated shoe to run a marathon. Right, that's it from me, guys. Let me know in the comments. I'll dive in there once this video drops, and I will catch you later.